that. Now, shifting focus, the showdown over the Manipur issue is expected to continue today as well on the 6th day of the Parliament Monsoon Session. Now, the opposition plans to step up the attack on the government. All MPs belonging to the opposition front, the INDIA, will be wearing black clothes and bands as a mark of protest against the Manipur issue. Now, apart from this, they will also protest in the Rajya Sabha over Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge's microphone being switched off. Remember, Mallikarjun Kharge had accused the government of humiliating him, while the government has accused the opposition of not behaving properly in Parliament and not allowing the Parliament to proceed. This comes a day after a no-confidence motion was moved by the Congress and the BRS, and it was accepted by the Speaker. Now, the motion was moved by the Congress to mount pressure on the central government over the violence in Manipur. Meanwhile, floor leaders of the opposition front will meet the Rajya Sabha Leader of Opposition, Mallikarjun Kharge, to discuss the urgent issues to be discussed in the Parliament today.
Govt joins us. Govt, your notice has been admitted. The discussion is going to happen sometime soon. But is this the only tool that the opposition really had in terms of, bringing a no-confidence motion? Because that's been repeated in the past also.
The India Alliance is well aware of our numbers and our strength in Lok Sabha, but it is a matter of sending a message of solidarity to Manipur. What is at stake is our domestic security, territorial integrity, and an effort to heal the wounds that the people of Manipur have felt. What message is the government is sending by the Prime Minister by not visiting Manipur? What message is the government already sent by the Prime Minister waiting for 78 days to open his mouth, that too after Chief Justice observations? And what message are they still trying to say? That there are other bills which are of much more importance than the issue of Manipur, that there are other meetings which are much more important for the Prime Minister to attend instead of coming inside Parliament and addressing the nation. In the past, there have been conflicts across India, and whenever there has been a conflict of this scale, of this magnitude, Prime Minister, irrespective of whichever political party they belong to, they have always confronted the issue head-on. They have taken personal initiative, they have taken personal leadership, and it is quite disappointing for the Prime Minister to almost kind of show his back to the people of Manipur. And that is what the message India Alliance wants to send, that the Prime Minister may have forgotten, but India Alliance for sure stands with the people of Manipur in their time of grief.
Well, the government is saying that Home Minister is willing to reply, but you countered that as well. But is the opposition also willing to take a discussion on the safety and security of women in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, among the other states?
It's quite unfortunate that after 78 days, when the Prime Minister spoke about Manipur, he spoke about atrocities against women. That is, of course, unfortunate. But there have been other human rights violations in Manipur. Ordinary people have felt defenseless, so much so that they have stormed police stations and taken arms. 6,000 weapons have been looted from police stations by people, ordinary people, you and me. You tell me which part of India has seen such a breakdown of law and order, where a union minister's house of this government, Ranjan Singh, his house has been burned. BJP MLAs have been attacked, and yet the Prime Minister refuses to meet his own MLAs. So this is an extraordinary situation, and therefore it deserves extraordinary attention and priority, because the states which are seeing this conflict are on our border. It is a matter of territorial integrity and domestic security, and it behooves the Prime Minister to come to the Parliament and speak to the people of India, and let a message of peace and solidarity go to the people of India, especially to the people of Manipur.
We're crossing over to CNN News 18's senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, who's joining us live. She's been tracking everything that's been taking place in Parliament as the monsoon session continues. Pallavi, good morning. Before you take us through what happened yesterday, essentially, what can we expect to take place today on day 6?
So basically today the opposition parties, that's the India front, they've decided to wear black bands and black outfits in protest. And the reason is, one, of course, not discussion of Manipur in Rajya Sabha particularly, but the second is also what they call the arbitrary treatment meted out to the opposition leaders. You must have seen yesterday in Rajya Sabha where you had a very agitated Mallikarjun Kharge standing up and saying that I have been insulted. When I was trying to speak, the mics were switched off. The chairperson completely denied it, saying it's absolutely incorrect to say that. It's also wrong to say that Sanjay Singh was suspended for asking a question, but actually Sanjay Singh was suspended because he misbehaved inside the Rajya Sabha. So there is a clear divide between both the sides. We also saw what Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday said, that the use of the word dhokebaz is absolutely unacceptable and the leaders must apologize. So the government accusing the opposition parties of bad behavior. Opposition says mic switched off, cameras not focused on us. We are not allowed to speak. In fact, Derek O'Brien tweeted very late last night saying the revised list of business is not out. That's exactly what the opposition parties plan to protest inside the Rajya Sabha particularly, but overall on the Manipur issue. But little hope for the opposition parties, at least in Lok Sabha, because a no confidence motion was admitted by the speaker yesterday.
Talking about the no confidence motion that was essentially put forth by both the Congress and the BRS, can we expect other parties to also put in a separate no confidence motion? And can you also tell us more about the significance of this motion?
For any no confidence motion to be admitted, there have to be 50 members of parliament who have to support it. That's what the support the India front has got. Now, the BRS also put up a notice, but it has a support of AIMIM, and in fact, it was not even mentioned by the speaker yesterday. So clearly it's not been admitted. I think the divide is very clear. Most of the India front parties are obviously going to be with the India front motion on the no confidence notice. And clearly the BRS and the AIMIM may not be able to notch up the numbers.
Now, is the fact that the discussion on Manipur has not even happened yet, the fact that that's been the main issue why we've seen a deadlock in Parliament, could you go through the demands of the opposition and can you talk about Rule 267 and 176?
So the main demand of the opposition parties is actually to get the Prime Minister to speak. And they devised this strategy of the opposition unity in Parliament, in Lok Sabha. If you introduce a no confidence motion, it has been accepted. It essentially means that the Prime Minister will have to respond to it because the no confidence motion is against the government and the head of the government responds to it. 176 versus 267 is in the Rajya Sabha. No confidence motion cannot be brought in there. So 176 means quick, short duration discussion, does not require any voting, does not require any notice and motion. 267, suspension of every business of the House till that discussion takes place. It also requires a motion and a notice. And that's the reason why the government says we don't need it under Rule 267.
All right, Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those very important details. Remember, day 6 of the Parliament's monsoon session is going to begin at 11 a.m., so stay tuned.